Alex and I have known each other since high school. We were always together, hanging out and sharing everything. Everyone around us kept saying we'd end up as a couple, but we only saw it that way after school. During one summer, something clicked. We were sitting outside one night talking and laughing, and suddenly I realized I liked Alex more than just a friend. It seemed he felt the same because he got quiet and smiled at me like never before. After that night, we started dating. It was easy, and I thought we were meant to be together from the start. But my family never got on board with us being a couple. They wanted someone for me who was loud and full of big dreams like they are. Alex isn't like that. He's quiet and likes simple things, like reading and spending time at home. My family couldn't understand what I saw in him. They said he was too quiet and not suitable for me. I tried to tell them how happy Alex makes me and how well he knows me, but they wouldn't listen. They couldn't see past how different Alex was on the outside and see the great guy he was on the inside. Despite all that, I never stopped loving Alex. It didn't matter that my family disapproved. Being with him felt like where I was supposed to be. Everything feels perfect when I'm with Alex, even if it's just the two of us against everyone else's thoughts. Alex and I made it through high school and university, and we are still going strong despite the odds. Our relationship was a comfortable, easy love that felt like home. University brought challenges, but we faced them together, figuring out life one step at a time. We went to different universities but kept the connection alive through nightly calls and weekend visits. It was challenging, but what we had was worth every effort. My family's views on Alex, though, remained unchanged. They still couldn't see what I saw in him, the kind, thoughtful guy who always put others first. To them, Alex was still too quiet and reserved, and they did not try to hide their feelings. One day, their disapproval came to a head in a way that would test our relationship more than I ever imagined. It happened during a visit from my Aunt Linda. Alex had come over, and we sat in the living room, laughing and discussing our university experiences. Aunt Linda walked in and she started making snide remarks within minutes. She poked fun at Alex for his major, asking how he planned to make a living studying literature. Alex tried to brush it off with a smile, but I could see the hurt in his eyes. The situation escalated when she asked him, "Do you think you're good enough for Sarah?" I was shocked into silence, and before I could muster a defense, Alex stood up, muttered a goodbye, and left. Alex didn't talk to me for a month after that. I was devastated. I tried calling, texting, and doing anything to reach out and apologize, even though the words weren't mine. My heart ached, not just for the distance between us, but for the pain I saw in Alex's eyes that day. It felt like Aunt Linda's words had built a wall between us that I couldn't tear down. The breakthrough came unexpectedly through our mutual friend Jamie. Jamie had been there since high school, the bridge between our worlds. Seeing how much we were hurting apart, Jamie intervened. He organized a casual meetup under the guise of needing group study help. We both showed up, surprised to see each other, but it was the push we needed. That day we talked for hours about Aunt Linda's comments and everything we'd bottled up inside. Alex admitted he'd felt isolated by my family's constant disapproval, and I realized how much I'd failed to stand up for him. Patching things up wasn't immediate, but that conversation opened the door. We understood that while we couldn't control my family's views, we could control how we faced them, together. From that day, we promised to communicate no matter how challenging the situation was. Alex has always had this thing about heights. It's not just fear. It's like he freezes up even at the thought of being somewhere high up. I've always known about it, respected it, and tried to ensure it never became an issue for him. My sister, however, never saw it as something to be considerate about. She found it amusing, a source of endless jokes and mockery. She'd often tease him about it, asking him if he needed a ladder to step onto the curb, or if he wanted to stay grounded while we all went on Ferris wheels at fairs. I've lost count of the times I've argued with her. I tried explaining how fear isn't something to mock, that everyone has something they're scared of, but she wouldn't listen. She brushed it off, saying she was teasing and that Alex should toughen up. But it wasn't just teasing. It was mean and hurt him. One day she took it too far. We were all at a family gathering and she started in on Alex again, this time about a family trip to a theme park and how he'd probably need to stay with the bags. I saw the look on Alex's face, that mixture of embarrassment and hurt he tried so hard to hide, and something in me just snapped. I was furious, more than I'd ever been. I turned on her, my anger boiling over in a way it never had before. I told her off, loudly and in no uncertain terms, about how cruel and insensitive she was being. I told her that mocking someone's fear was the lowest of the low, and if she couldn't respect Alex, then she had no respect for me either. The room went silent. My sister looked taken aback, not expecting such a fierce response. She tried to apologize, but the damage was done. That moment marked a turning point. My sister never mocked Alex again, at least not before me. It was a harsh way to make my point, but it seemed the only way to get through to her. It was a reminder that sometimes standing up for the people we love means drawing hard lines, even with family. Throwing a party seemed like a brilliant idea at the time. It was supposed to be a fun gathering, a mix of friends and family, celebrating just being together. Alex, always the trooper, was there too, even though he'd mentioned feeling slightly off earlier in the day. I brushed it off, thinking it was just the usual tiredness from our hectic schedules. I noticed Alex looking increasingly uncomfortable as the party got into full swing. He was paler than usual, and I could tell he wasn't just tired, he was sick. Concerned, I suggested he lie in my bedroom to escape the noise and hopefully feel better. He hesitated, not wanting to be a bother, but eventually agreed. My sister saw this exchange. Instead of expressing concern or offering to help, she saw an opportunity for one of her pranks. Despite our past confrontations about her behavior, she hadn't learned her lesson. With a mischievous glint in her eye, she sneaked off after Alex. I was mingling with the guests when a commotion erupted from the direction of my bedroom. Rushing over, I found Alex on the floor, unconscious, with my sister standing over him, a look of shock on her face. She had decided to jump out from behind the door to scare him as a joke. Given his already weakened state, the shock was too much for him, and he'd fainted. The room erupted into chaos. Alex's friends, who'd followed after hearing the noise, were furious. They confronted my sister, demanding to know what she was thinking. Tempers flared as accusations flew, the party's festive atmosphere shattering into a million pieces. My sister, cornered and defensive, lashed out in anger, refusing to accept the gravity of her actions. The situation escalated until she stormed out of the party, leaving a wake of tension and concern. I was beside myself with worry for Alex and mortified by my sister's thoughtlessness. We managed to revive Alex, and after checking him over, decided it was best to take him to the hospital to be sure he was okay. Thankfully, it was nothing serious, just the result of stress and a nasty fright on a bad day. But the incident left a deep impression on us all. The fallout was immediate. Alex's friends were openly hostile towards my sister, making it clear they were not interested in being near her after what she'd done. It wasn't just about the prank anymore, but about her blatant disregard for someone's well-being. My sister, for her part, refused to apologize, insisting it had all been in good fun, not understanding the severity of her actions. The incident put me in a difficult position. I felt responsible and helpless when torn between my family and loved ones. It took many discussions, apologies on my behalf, and time for Alex's friends to cool down. As for my sister, our relationship suffered a significant strain. Her idea of fun was not just harmful but potentially dangerous. This episode was a harsh lesson for everyone involved. It highlighted the importance of empathy, the consequences of thoughtless actions, and the fragile nature of trust and safety within familial or romantic relationships. It was a reminder that some lines should never be crossed, and some jokes are never worth the cost. I have been navigating my relationship with Alex like a minefield. Where there was once laughter and ease, tension and unease now loom. It's not just about the incident at the party, though that certainly was a catalyst. It seems every little thing is now a point of contention, a spark ready to ignite an argument. Communication, once our stronghold, has become a field of misunderstandings and hurt feelings. Our biggest worry was what movie to watch on a Friday night. Additionally, my family has ramped up their pressure for me to end things with Alex. They've never been his biggest fans, citing our differences in personality and lifestyle as signs that we're not meant to be. They see his introversion as a lack of ambition and his contentment with life as complacency. The recent tensions between us have only given them more ammunition. "He's just not suitable for you, Sarah," they say, as if their standards can measure suitability alone. Their constant badgering about Alex isn't new, but it's become more intense and frequent. Dinner conversations invariably turn to my relationship, with everyone from Aunt Linda to my second cousin twice removed, weighing in on why I should let Alex go. "Think of your future," they urged, as if I hadn't been doing that with Alex by my side. Despite the rocky patch Alex and I are navigating, the thought of leaving him feels like severing a part of myself. He's been my constant confidant and partner in crime since those high school days when love was a distant concept, something forged in the giggles shared over inside jokes and comfort found in silent company. Yes, we've hit a rough patch, but who doesn't? The thought of throwing away everything we've built over a temporary storm is unthinkable. My family's disapproval stems from a place of love, I know. They want what's best for me, as they see it. But their vision for my life and mine are different. They see Alex's calm demeanor and quiet strength as weaknesses, but to me, they are the qualities that balance my more spontaneous and sometimes chaotic nature. They don't see the Alex who holds me when the world becomes too much, listens to my dreams without judgment, and supports me unconditionally. Their pressure to leave him has put me in an impossible position. Defending my relationship feels like a betrayal to my family, yet abandoning it feels like betraying myself. The weight of their expectations is a constant burden, a reminder of the divide between the life I want and the one they envision. Amidst this turmoil, I cling to the memories of better times with Alex, the laughter and love that defined us. These moments serve as a beacon of hope, a reminder of what we're fighting for. The path forward needs to be clarified, but I'm not ready to give up on us without a fight. Navigating our issues requires patience, understanding, and a willingness to communicate, even when it's hard. I believe in our ability to overcome hurdles and find our way back to each other. It won't be easy, but the best things in life rarely are. As for my family, finding a balance between their expectations and my happiness is an ongoing challenge. I love them, but I also love Alex. Convincing them to see him through my eyes, to understand the depth and strength of our bond, is a battle I'm prepared to fight. In the end, I must live my life for me, not for them. With time, I hope they'll accept my choice to see Alex not as the person they think he is, but as the incredible partner he's been to me. One thing remains clear. Love is not just about the easy times, but also about standing together when the world seems against you. And I stand with Alex, now more than ever.